Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in development as we speak. We have a lot of TV shows that are actually well into production, such as the Ahsoka Tano series and Mando Season 3. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So what's really exciting right now is that we have, around 3 Star Wars TV shows that are well into development that has a lot to do with the fact of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, Mando Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano show. I mean, there's a lot coming our way for both this year and 2023 that's really going to expand the overall Star Wars universe. Now, one thing that Disney CEO Bob Chapek has been doing a lot behind the scenes is that he's really been trying to make Star Wars a little bit more in tune with Legends, and that's exactly what George, John, and Dave are doing. They're taking a lot of highlights, and I say highlights because they want to take the best moments from Star Wars Legends, the most interesting aspects from all those stories all those years ago, and mixing it in with the current Disney canon. A great example is how the Ahsoka Tano series, great example here, is basically going to be the Thrawn trilogy, whereas we're going to have a lot of elements from those books being told in the Ahsoka Tano show and other TV shows that will surround that. So on top of all of this, what's really exciting is exactly what Bob Chapek has in store for the future of Star Wars. However, something very unfortunate seems to have happened for fans that are pretty much, very well looking up to one of the big characters in the Star Wars universe. Now, specifically, with both Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano TV series, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are getting ready to finish up The Mandalorian Season 3. However, it's noted that behind the scenes over at Disney, many changes and adjustments are currently being made behind the scenes in order to regulate the franchise. Now, it's noted that Disney CEO Bob Chapek is getting ready to make it official that the Book of Boba Fett as a series will be cancelled and will no longer move forward with a Season 2 after seeing the fan reception both on the internet and from personal opinions about whether or not they should move forward with the show. However, the Disney higher-ups are described to feel mixed on Chapek's decision about all of this and will have a meeting by the end of this month to finalize Chapek's plan on canceling the series. So far, some of the higher-ups want to continue with a Season 2 in order to explore other characters in depth like Cobb Vanth and even Cad Bane. Now, let me just stop right there for 1 second. Now, it's a very, complex situation that they are in right now because Chapek basically wants the series canceled. He doesn't want to see a Season 2 to see the light of day. He doesn't want to risk anything like that. He wants to pretty much, focus more so strictly on The Mandalorian when it comes to bounty hunters and stuff around those lines. You can throw in Cad Bane and characters, other ones like Cobb Vanth, if you really wanted to. Throw them into Mandalorian Season 3 or 4 and just keep it at that. They could easily do that if they wanted to, and that seems to be the plan right now. But the Book of Boba Fett does not look good so far. Season 2 is not looking good. It's really moving towards getting canceled. Even Tamora, really kind of elaborated on that. I'll get to that in just a second. But one thing about Bob Chapek is that he really knows what the fans want, and he pays a lot of attention to fan reception and exactly how the fans react. Unlike Bob Iger, who just really strictly went by numbers and blamed, certain aspects on, fans getting tired of the Star Wars franchise, and simply as that. We can never forget what he said about Solo: A Star Wars Story, where he thought it was fans getting exhausted from Star Wars after The Last Jedi. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that fans actually disliked The Last Jedi and were completely turned off by what Disney was doing to Star Wars. That's exactly why not a lot of people were checking out Solo. But anyways, I digress. What's really interesting about this further is that, It's described that the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 so far is not looking good, and that they had so many great plans for the second season to expand the character and his foes, that will now be planned to be implemented into the Mandalorian Season 4 and future Mando installments. So that most likely means future Mando spin-offs that they also have planned. Now, it's something that, of course, is described that, Temuera Morrison is actually very upset about, as he said this in a recent interview with the Book of Boba Fett, of course, where he goes on to say that, "I was honored to be a part of Star Wars dating all the way back to the prequels, and how I was given the chance to come back in the way that I did in the Book of Boba and Mando. It's been a beautiful ride, and we did okay on the Book of Boba Fett, I believe." Now, notice how Temuera says we did okay. I think that he knows that this story wasn't really as fleshed out as it could have been, and it really had a lot of inconsistencies, and it was very slow at times, but there were a lot of good parts in the Book of Boba Fett, I will agree, guys. I mean, nothing to do with Luke, nothing to do with Ahsoka or Din. There were a lot of great things in this story that had to do with Boba Fett strictly. It had some moments. So additionally, it's noted that Disney is now trying to figure out what they can actually do to finalize the cancellation of the Boba Fett series, and exactly what takes its place in the long run. So far, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been rather upset about Disney pushing to cancel this entire series altogether. However, they understand why they want to do this, of course, due to the ratings of the show on Disney+. Director Robert Rodriguez is said to actually no longer be involved with the 4th season of Mando as well, after his episodes in Boba Fett did not do so well with the fans. Chapek wants to make sure that they really want to make Star Wars as best as possible, as they don't want to make the same exact mistakes that they did with the sequel trilogy films, or with other projects that Kathleen Kennedy handled some time ago. Additionally, Boba Fett Season 2 was said and planned to be a longer season that would stretch 10 episodes. However, now Boba Fett is considering, of course, to get cancelled by Bob Chapek, and the elements from that story will be placed into future Star Wars shows that will be scattered over the next couple of years for the fans to witness characters like Cad Bane and Fennec Shand once again. This plan by Chapek is said to create an open slot for a new show as well. So that's pretty much the silver lining right now, is that the cancellation of Boba Fett is going to leave open a slot for a brand new Star Wars TV series to drop on Disney Plus sooner than later. That's the good news. The bad news is that if you're a big fan of Boba Fett, this does not look good. Now, is there a chance that they're gonna revive this show, or renew it for a second season? Hey, I mean, anything's possible. The Disney higher-ups are pretty much at a split decision right now, but Bob Chapek has his mind made up. And as you all know, the CEO all the time is not the one to make the choices all the time. It has to come to a full agreement. So they are going to have a meeting at the end of the month, in the late February 20s. So that's when exactly they will be deciding on whether or not they want to push forward with the Season 2 of Boba Fett. And based on what Ming-Na Wen, said a couple of days ago, she said that, fans rushed to a conclusion so fast based on what she said when she called the Book of Boba Fett as the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, and the fans took that as a hint that there's a Season 2. She backtracked and said that has nothing to do with that. That was just my own choice of words, and fans were looking way too far into that. So a Season 2, I will be honest, it doesn't look likely, and it's not looking good for the Boba Fett series. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.